What's going on, everybody? This is Clark Beckham, your host, the former runner-up of American Idol, and you're watching the Idol Breakdown. I haven't been a huge fan of Ryan's suits. I think that's the only thing that he's missed this year. I think he's been great. His suits, usually I'm into them, and they just feel too big for me. Also, one really cool thing about this episode, you don't see a guest mentor. You see the in-house mentors that are mentoring these contestants every single week. Antonio is one that you see often. He was on my season, and he's a genius. I don't recognize now any of the rest, which is sad. But those are the contestants' right-hand men and women. They are their confidants, and they're the ones that create the arrangement instrumentally and vocally and coach them on how to perform to the best of their ability. So it's cool that we actually get to see that. And first we have Will Mosley. I thought this was a great song choice. I loved how he changed the melody to give a little more juice near the end, a little higher than the original, just to get it. And it emotionally, it felt emotionally true when he was doing that. I thought this was the best maybe the best performance he's done. Last night was really strong, the Sunday night episode, but he's starting off strong, and that happens to be a theme that everyone does really, really well this episode. Next would be Karin. You're still a traitor. I love so much that she was referring to it as traitor healed version. What that translates to is a couple things musically. Not as much rasp and push and strain to push that emotion. Also, opened up her face a little bit more, relaxed her face a little more. I think if she becomes a giant pop star, that she'll be singing those songs. I think that's exactly the sound to expect from her in her career, and she sounds like $1,000,000. She's had two of the strongest performances of the whole season for her, Sunday night and then last night as you're watching this. These last two episodes just been incredibly strong. Could not think of a better way for her to go. She should be incredibly proud of herself. Really kicked it into high gear at the end where it matters. Whether you get cut or not, the end is the most important. McKenna. Wow. What great pitch she has, and especially in the beginning. The first couple lines are a record. I mean, right off a record. This was gorgeous. There was a little strain at the end. Missed a little bit there. But she as well. Two monster performances in a row where I had been missing her, not really getting the goods from her for a while now. She gives us two really solid, powerful performances in a row. And Katie at the end of the show, spoiler alert, picks her to be saved over Karin, which I bet was a really tough decision. I see how McKenna could have a higher ceiling in this show for moments, special moments. But I guarantee that was a hard decision, and it wasn't obvious. McKenna did what she had to do, though, to get that pick. One time I forgot to ask people to like the video, and it had like half as many likes, which shocked me. It actually makes me feel good because a lot of you just need to be reminded, and you have the full intention of liking this video, and you just need reminded. So here we are. And if you don't have intention of liking this video, I'm going to be honest. When I get told to like the video that I'm watching, I never do it. I never do it. I'm just like, that's not why I'm here. Maybe it's like this little piece of control that I hold on to, but open up, you know? I mean, I like my videos all the time. Just open up, just click the like button. It's real easy. Nothing bad happens. I promise. Jack. This was really sweet too. One of his strongest performances. There was a time where he went up in like the octave and he added rasp on that first note, and I was a little disappointed. And I didn't really want that push, and I'm like, nah, it doesn't really belong in this song. And then for the rest of the song, he just gave us really clean belting notes, great pitch, no strain, just soaring above the melody and our expectations, even though our expectations are very high. Another fantastic performance from Jack. You know, I was kind of talking a little bit of trash in the live Q&A after the breakdown episode last night about how this show's gotten much more boring now that Roman and Jaina and Keiko and Mia are gone. And it's almost like the contestants heard me and were like, all right, bet. Roger that. Let's turn it on. And they did. They brought it. Abby. Oh my gosh, speaking of bringing it, I just feel like a broken record. First, when I heard His Eyes on the Sparrow, I was like, perfect. Do this. It's such a big song. She's going to be forced to like really go for it. Great, do that. Then I just heard the piano of the Evanescence song. And I was like, this. Before she even started singing. Was totally sold. And boy, did she deliver and even exceeded the high expectations that I had for this song for her. The chorus was fine. The chorus was like, all right, great. Let's rock out. You're doing it. Cool. Let's get back to the soft stuff. The verses and the bridge, those are the places where she made her money. I thought this was freaking phenomenal. Julia. And birds, they fly. Julia's low range is so nice that somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue. That low, and she just lets it go. She scoops that low range of hers and really pushes it and just lets it hang. And it's so nice, especially when she contrasts it with these high notes and these falsettos and these belts, and then brings it down to this basement level. It's so nice. I thought this was my favorite. This was my favorite performance from her since her audition. Most complete performance, I think, of the season. I think she could be best of the night. You could make an argument for that. The Groove Crew and the watch party were telling me I was on an island about Julia, and none of them were feeling it. And I hate to say this because I respect the Groove Crew and I love them, but that's some what did I say one time? Bullspit. That's some BS. It's bogus. I feel confidently that was baller. That was very, very, very strong. I was totally enraptured. She was doing some really subtle stuff. That was some vocal acrobatic work, but so subtle and tasty, some might have missed it. It was not lost on me. You know, I'm convinced that everyone loves to sing, whether they're good at it or not. It's almost like everyone loves to dance. And I say almost because I hate to dance. I don't like it. I hate it. I've tried. I hate it. Hated prom. Just weddings where everybody dances freaks me out. I don't like it. It's not like that though with singing. I really think everyone loves to sing. And how much you love it, how much you can pour in and experience it fully depends on your mobility as you sing, your ability to sing. And I've found through 4 years now of teaching singers that there are some things that are foundational that almost nobody knows about and no one does. And as soon as I get students to just do these 4 or 5 things, instantly they're better, like way better. By the end of the lesson, they're way better. So I made a course, an online course focusing on these things: how to warm up, how to breathe correctly, how to breathe as a singer. For example, did you know that you don't just warm up your vocal cords? You need to warm up 4 or 5 different things. And I tell you what those things are and how to do it in this video. Also, you guys responded a lot to me offering up lessons one-on-one. I'm booked out for the month of May, but I'm going to just keep going because I want to help as many people that would like to be helped. Again, I do 5-minute free consultations to see if this is what you want to do. I do 15-minute lessons for $50 and 30-minute lessons for $100. I'm starting to book June. If you're interested, email beckhamlessons@gmail.com. If that vocal foundations course sounded more like your speed, then you can get it in the description below. It should say, take Clark's vocal foundations course. Let's talk about Tristan. This was weird. So like he wanted the Sand in My Boots song, and then he tried the other one out, started crying, saying, I feel like God is telling me to do this. And then it's like, wow, that's awesome. And then it's like, sand in my boots. It goes into the other song, and we're all kind of left like, oh, all right. I trust him in his song choice. I always trust the artist and their song choice when they're deciding between one or the other, as long as they made the decision and it wasn't really influenced heavily by another person. Now that's an issue. But if he really believed that that was the best song for him, then I believe that was the best song for him too. However, I thought this performance was a little lackluster compared to what we're used to with him. I thought he was mumbling quite a bit, and the energy level was generally low. He missed the last note. This wasn't his best performance. He's put so many strong ones together before this that he can survive an performance. But I'm really starting to lose him. He peaked for me from his audition all the way to Heartbreak Hotel. After that, I haven't quite seen the gold that Tristan has shown us in the past that made him my first person that I suggested could win. Emmy. Not much left but the floor. Yo, that I felt like that was a completely different singer altogether. Let's talk about that arrangement. Just piano, like I've been screaming from the mountaintops from almost everybody. You don't have to use the band. Now, there was some extra stuff instrumentally, but not even enough for you to notice. Like it was so subtle and supportive of the piano that we just had this heartbreaker of a song. I had tears. A lot of the Groove Crew and the watch party had tears. Some people were making fun of us. That's fine. Katy Perry had tears. The judges seemed to be an emotional wreck. It was this beautiful moment that came from authenticity and intimacy that comes with a piano only or close to it arrangement. You can always bring more in and support and get big. But certain songs don't need the full band. They just need a piano, and that's exactly what we got. Freaking sang, dude. I thought this was great. I thought this was, like I said, a completely different singer showed up to sing. Emmy makes it through. Tristan makes it through. Julia, Abby, Jack, McKenna, and Cabrian are in the bottom two. Will Mosley makes it. McKenna gets saved. We don't know who was the bottom of this vote, but McKenna is obviously in danger because typically when a judge saves somebody, they're out next because they were the bottom of the vote. And because McKenna did so well Sunday night and so well tonight, or last night as you're watching this, I don't know if she can do any better to get more people to vote unless all of her voters were just not thinking that she needed it. Maybe this will bolster people to vote for her and someone else will get forgotten about. I don't know. But I do know that I have an updated top 7. I've got quite a bit of change here. I've got McKenna at number 1. She just brought more to the table these past 2 nights than anybody else on the show for me. Again, these are my favorite, by the way. These are not predictions. McKenna right now is my number 1 favorite. Jack is behind her. Abby is right behind him after Evanescence. She might have been my favorite of the whole night. Julia is behind her, and then it's Tristan, Emmy, and Will to round up the bottom 3 of that 7. We are in the home stretch, and for $5, that's it. You could be a member and join the watch party and have your name lit up in green and me prioritize your questions in the Q&A and in the premiere and the comments that you leave. You get all the benefits and the perks of being a member for $5. It's just the home stretch. Premieres are every Monday and Tuesday night, 6 o'clock Central. Best way to watch it. It's like watching a live TV show, except there's a chat on the side and we all talk to each other on the chat. And sometimes we talk trash to each other, and that's fine. I'm here for it. I'm here for the fight. If you want to fight, come find me in the premiere. And the best part is you get to go to the live Q&A right after the premiere and ask me questions. And I'll ask you questions. I'll ask where I was wrong. I'll tell you where I was wrong. For example, the last Idol breakdown, I said Julia picked a bad song. I think that was wrong. I think she picked a great song. I think the arrangement was wrong. Stuff like that. But that's just my opinion, because it's not the critic who counts. It's not the one who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. No, the credit belongs to the one who is actually in the arena. I'll see you guys in 2 seconds if you're watching the premiere for the live Q&A. I'll see the rest of you next week.